quickly, today we're talking about the top 10 questions, okay, that I receive from women asking about hair loss. Now, I've received these questions over the last year. So every time I get a comment or a DM or an email, I always take those questions and put them in, or those comments and questions and things like that, and I put them in a spreadsheet or in a list, because I always like to know what's going on in my community, what's going on with the women that I serve. What is the biggest issues right now? Because it's always changing. Okay. It seems like right now, a lot of women are concerned with scalp health. Okay. All of my videos on scalp health are doing very well right now on YouTube. So that's another indicator that things are shifting, because that didn't used to be the case 2-3 years ago. I've been doing this for, I was just telling my daughter or my son, I've been doing videos for probably the last 7 years, 6 years, and it always changes. Okay. So I have to keep up with the things that you all are dealing with. Okay. So today's live again is about the top 10 questions, because I get a lot of questions, a lot of comments, a lot of people that need help. So I wanted to just put those in. Kalia, can you moderate, please? Please. Thank you. Yeah. So I want to go over the top 10. You'll see me looking off to the side. I have my notes here because I don't have the top 10 questions memorized. I wish I could, but I have them in my notes here. So we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, most women I find are trying to solve hair problems without understanding the system that their hair is actually growing from. Okay. Based on the comments again that I've seen over the last year or the last few months, even, these are the top 10 questions that I see or that I get asked over and over and over again, either directly. I get these questions asked directly, or they're hidden underneath other questions. Okay. So sometimes women don't really come out and ask the question they want to ask. I've done this long enough. I can almost always understand the real question that they're asking. Okay. So I'm going to give you the top 10 questions as we go through the question. I'm going to give you some possible causes. Okay. What I would do to guide you if we were working together, and then also some of the resources that I have available. Okay. So everybody that's leaving comments in the chat, I see you. I don't want to stop and respond to every question, so I will do that at the end. I always leave space at the end for questions, because I don't want to get sidetracked, because if I do, we will never get off of this. We'll never get off of this live. Okay. So if you're new here, my name is Kendra, and I help women over 40 understand their hair by first understanding their body. Okay. So I teach women how to connect the dots between what they see in their hair, what it means in their body, and how to respond accordingly. Okay. So you can stop guessing and start giving your hair what it actually needs. Many women are guessing when it comes to their hair health because they don't know what they actually need. And so we help to bring clarity to the issues that you're seeing. All right. So if you have not subscribed, please feel free to do so. If you are on here and you have not hit the like button, please hit the like button. It helps the channel out a lot. I'm sure you've heard this before, but it really, really does. Okay. All right. Now, first question, the number one question, I'm not gonna say this is the first, this is the number one. These are in order by the questions that I get the most to the ones that I get the least. First one is, why isn't my hair growing? Okay. Many times when I get this question, I feel like what women are really asking is, why is my hair not growing even though I'm trying? Okay. This is, again, probably my number one question, because underneath it, what they're experiencing is things like thinning, breakage, length retention, scalp issues, product confusion. Product confusion is going to be a theme throughout all these questions. Okay. Often the hair is growing. So if you are a person with even moderately healthy hair, you know your hair is not the healthiest, but it's also not horrible. Okay. Your hair is growing. Biology tells us that. You are probably just not retaining length. Okay. Or your growth may be just slowed down because something deeper in your body is going on. Okay. And that's kind of my specialty. That's kind of how I help, or what I help women do to get clarity on what they're experiencing. Okay. So most women assume no length equals no growth. All right. My hair is getting longer, so it's not growing. That is not true, because again, growth and retention are not the same thing. Okay. So some possible causes on why you may feel like your hair isn't growing. Possible causes: breakage, scalp inflammation, nutrient deficiencies. Okay. Remember, your hair needs nutrition just like your body does. Your hair is not separate from your body. So if your body is lacking certain nutrients, then your hair will show it. Okay. Chronic stress. I have so many videos on how stress can lead to hair loss. Okay. Or how stress can affect hair growth. Same thing. Hormonal shifts as we get older. It's specifically why I help, or what I teach women over 40. As we get older, our hormones change. Our hormonal shifts can cause hair issues, hair loss, thinning, shedding, breakage, all of the things. Okay. Protective style damage. This is another big one that makes you think your hair isn't growing. Just because you have a protective style is not an excuse not to take care of your hair underneath the style. Okay. Another possible cause of it seeming like your hair isn't growing is dryness. And then there's mechanical damage. Mechanical damage is you handling your hair too rough. When your hair is wet, you're detangling it like it owes you money. Okay. These are the things that I see women do, or that I talk to women and I hear that they do, and they don't realize it. So it's not that you're just doing it because you are, purposely sabotaging your hair. I know that's not the case. Sometimes we just don't know. Okay. So, what I would do, or some resources that, or what I would do to help you if you're dealing with this issue, is to figure out if your hair is based on growth, or if it's based on length retention, if it's based on breakage, or if it's based on thinning. Okay. So, because those are all totally different things, but those can all make it feel like your hair isn't growing. Okay. So some resources that I have available is, I'm going to give you 3 resources for each of these, because I got a lot. I don't want to overwhelm you with a bunch of stuff and you trying to figure out what you should do first. 3 options. I'm always going to recommend Hair Rehab. Hair Rehab is a system that I've created. It focuses on 5 areas that help you to understand what is going on with your hair, with your scalp, with your mindset, your habits, your nutrition. All of those things can affect your hair health. I take you step by step through each of those. You determine which of those is the most important in your journey right now, and we go through the process. Okay. Hair Rehab is free to join. All right. You just have to do the work. All right. Some of the resources inside of Hair Rehab are paid resources. There are a lot of things in there that are free. Okay. So Hair Rehab will be my first suggestion. Also, any of my playlists on YouTube that have to do with hair regrowth or scalp health are also going to be very good for you if you are someone that thinks your hair isn't growing. Okay. Check out my playlist on regrowth or scalp health. All right. So those are the 2 that I'm going to give. I'm not going to recommend any products, because I know, I've been doing this a very long time. Most of the time, women just want to know, what do I do? What do I buy? What do I need to use? For this question, I would not recommend a product. Not yet. Not until we get clarity on what problem we're actually solving, because we're probably not just solving a problem of hair growth or hair loss. We might be trying to figure out, why is your hair thinning? We might be trying to figure out, when did this start? All right. We might be trying to figure out, is it length retention? Like, let's figure out what problem we're solving before we try to throw a product at it. Okay. So that's question number 1. If this sounds like you, if this sounds like something you're dealing with, drop a number 1 in the comments. Okay. If you want, you can tell me a little bit about what's going on. I'll do my best to point you in the right direction, again, with more videos, resources, and products or tools that can help you take the next step. Okay. Moving on to number 2, what products should I be using? What products should I be using? So I just mentioned this. A lot of times women just want to know, can you tell me what to do, ma'am? I don't want, just tell me what to do. Okay. Tell me what to buy. That's what I hear. That's what they're really asking. And this question shows up constantly in my comments, in my emails. What's the best shampoo for 4C hair? What moisturizer should I use? What oil? What's the best oil? What's the best natural oil? What's the best growth supplement? Listen, I can answer all of those questions, but the problem is usually that you need clarity. Okay. Before you buy another product, you need clarity, because the internet has convinced all of you that there's one perfect product, or they've convinced you that you need 20 different steps to solve your hair problem. There is not a such thing as one perfect product, and it is not necessary to have 20 different steps in your hair routine. Okay. The right product and the right steps depends on your scalp condition, your hair density, your strand structure, your porosity, your goals, your lifestyle. Okay. We overwhelm ourselves with products and products and products and products. We overwhelm ourselves with products, right? And then we can't keep up with the routine to maintain it. Okay. So instead of building your routine around products, I want you to stop choosing products based on trends. Okay. Build your routine around your hair profile. Products should support your hair profile. Your personal hair profile is like your personal fingerprint. Everybody's is a little bit different. They look the same if you're looking at it, but once you start digging deeper, they're all different. All of us have our own separate hair profile. I have a digital resource that helps you walk through that and understand yours. Okay. That's one product that I would recommend. And then, of course, Hair Rehab. Anytime we're talking about clarity or trying to understand what your hair needs or where to start, I'm always going to recommend Hair Rehab. Again, that's the system that I use to help women understand their hair by understanding their body. And then one other thing, I think I have it tagged in this video, is the Plan My Hair Care workshop. That's where we sit down as a group in a group session, and I walk you through step by step how to create your own personal hair care plan. Okay. My one-on-one sessions for those are $199. You're getting that access to me for a fraction of that price in the workshop. Okay. The only difference is it's not one-on-one, it's a group session. So that's something that you should consider. Okay. So if you are confused about what products you should be using, drop a number 2 in the comments. Okay. Tell me a little bit about what's going on, and I will try to link some videos and resources and courses and tools and things like that. Okay. Again, if you are here, I see we have a few people on. Please, Kalia is not playing no games with the trolls. Okay, so if you're in here trolling, I just want to caveat: if you're in here trolling, my moderator is on patrol. She is not playing no games. Okay, so if y'all come in here with the mess, just know it's counting towards my engagement. So when you troll me, it's really just helping YouTube push this video out to more people. So I thank you, but also you will be blocked. Okay, or you will be put on, you will be deleted, or you'll be put on whatever she's doing. Okay, so I'm just letting you know, if you're watching and you're trolling, I'm gonna get the engagement. Okay, but also you will get blocked. All right, moving on to number 3. Why is my hair thinning? So this is the third question that I see the most. Why is my hair thinning? Kendra, my hair is thinning. My edges are thin. My temples are thin. My crown is thinning. I have a part that's getting wider. I can see my scalp more when I part my hair. This one is huge. Okay. Hair thinning is not a diagnosis. Nobody should be diagnosing you with thin hair. Thinning is a symptom. Possible causes of this is traction alopecia, hormones, menopause, inflammation, stress, nutritional deficiencies, nutritional issues, absorption issues. Okay. Medication changing. Medication, aging, and medical conditions are probably the top 3 things I've seen that cause thinning. Okay. Top 3 things that I've seen that cause thinning. My solution, or what I would tell you to do, is stop treating thinning as a problem and investigate why your hair follicles are producing less hairs in the first place. Or sometimes it's just that your strands are shrinking. You used to have nice, healthy strands that had a nice round, thick diameter, and now they've shrunk down to, very thin strands. Okay. We need to understand that. Hair thinning is information. Okay. So we ask a lot of questions when we're dealing with thinning. I want to teach you how to interpret that information. Okay, so we ask questions like, where is it thinning the most? When did it start? How long has it been thinning? What changed? What was the changes that happened that started the thinning? Okay, because we always want clarity before we start running up and down the beauty supply store aisles looking for products. Okay, so resources that I have, again, hair rehab. All right, anytime we asking questions about why, I'm going to recommend hair rehab. Okay, I have a specific focus area inside of that program to help with that. Okay. The Scalp Care mini course. I have an actual course. It's 7 modules. It's on my website. I'll leave it linked below, where it walks you through several scalp conditions, what to do about them, how to treat them, how to maintain a healthy scalp going forward. Okay, very beneficial. Now, specifically as a product, if you want to, this will probably be one of the only questions that I recommend a product. And that's my hair and scalp treatments, the balm. Okay, so it's in a solid form and it's in a liquid. If you actually can stay consistent, the balm helps to balance the scalp. It helps deal with itching and flakes and things of that nature, because in order for your hair to grow healthy, you have to have a healthy scalp environment. So my products help with that. So if you are dealing with a scalp that's itchy, tender, tight, burning, or flaking, okay, drop a number 3 in the comments. Drop a number 3 in the comments. Tell me a little bit about what's going on. I will link some videos, resources, courses, tools that can help you. Okay. If you are on here and you have not hit the like button, please do so. I appreciate those of you that are here and that are watching. Okay. I'm just checking my feed here. Okay. Next question. That was number 4. Oh, yet. Oh, that was why is my hair thinning. So hair thinning was number 3. Where did I stop? Did I do number 4 yet? I think I got ahead of myself. So number 3 was thinning. Now we're on scalp that's itchy, tender, tight, burning, or flaking. Okay, so if you're having scalp issues, we need to understand what your scalp is trying to tell you. Even if you don't use those specific words, you need to understand what your scalp is trying to tell you. Okay, your scalp is always talking. Your hair is always talking. What we try to do when we buy products is we try to silence the symptoms. Products are only silencing the symptoms, but symptoms are messages. Okay, they don't go away. They just get worse. So possible causes of scalp itching, tenderness, tightness, burning, flex is irritation, inflammation, buildup. These are possible causes. Fungal overgrowth is a big one, especially if you are someone that eats or drinks a lot of sugary foods and drinks. Okay. Allergies can create irritation on the scalp, tension, dehydration, and of course, medical scalp conditions. My solution for this will be always be a conversation around the scalp. So instead of you asking or me answering how to stop the itching, I would say what's creating the itching in the first place. Okay. And we would start there, because a stressed scalp is not ideal for healthy hair growth. If your issue is healthy hair growth and you are dealing with the scalp problem, your goal needs to be dealing with the scalp problem first, understanding what's causing it. Okay. So again, my scalp care mini course would be awesome for that. And any of my hair and scalp treatments would be good for that as well. So if scalp health is something that you're dealing with, drop a number 4 in the comments. Okay. Number 5, is this hair loss permanent? This comes up repeatedly. Okay. Examples of permanent hair loss, or when we think the hair loss is permanent, types of alopecia like CCCA, seborrheic dermatitis, traction alopecia, shedding after surgery. Okay. Shedding after medication, shedding after very stressful life events, menopause, things of that nature. Okay. The underlying fear when a lot of women ask this is, did I wait too long? Is this just so bad that it's not gonna, it's not gonna ever grow back? The truth is some forms of hair loss can improve. Okay. Some forms can be slowed down, which means you are going to probably lose the hair, but we can slow down the process, or the process can be slowed down. The hair loss can be slowed down. Some forms can be more permanent. Okay. Especially scarring alopecia. If the follicle has scarred over, it's more likely that you will not be able to regrow your hair. Now, I have heard cases of where the hair did regrow even with scarring alopecia, but I have not personally experienced that. Okay. So the better question would be is, what can we influence today? What can we do today? Because all you have is right now. You can't go back and undo what you did, but you can start from today. Okay. Instead of freezing out of fear, we want to take action. So we can start getting more information about what our hair and scalp needs. Okay. So we need to understand the type of hair loss, how long it's been present, what may have triggered it. All right. And many times we don't even have to go through that assessment. Many times women know what type of hair loss they're dealing with. They've been to dermatologists, they've been to trichologists, they've seen their medical professionals. Okay. So as a hair educator, I don't want to oversimplify this conversation. Okay. So if you already know that you're dealing with these things, you're probably asking, what can I realistically do next? Is there something I can realistically do next? Is there still hope for improvement? How do I stop it from getting worse? Okay. So if you already know your condition, then we would shift more towards trying to support whatever your condition is, and then the next steps. Okay. So if you are someone that's dealing with any of these issues like CCCA, your hair loss is from menopause, or if it's traction related, you already know that it's shedding after surgery or medication. Those are things that we can assess what the next steps would be. Okay. It's actually better if you've already been diagnosed. That makes the process of us trying to find a solution even easier. Okay. So if you are wondering if your hair loss is permanent, drop a number 5 in the comments. Okay. If you want to share what your diagnosis is or what you've been told, let me know, and I'll do my best to point you to some resources that can help. Okay. That was number 5. So number 6, this is another clarity question. What should I do first, Kendra? This is one of the biggest hidden questions, because it's not always what product, it's where do I start? Because women, a lot of times that are dealing with hair loss, significant hair loss especially, are overwhelmed. Okay. People get stuck here. They start at step 10. They buy products before understanding the problem, before understanding what they're dealing with, so that they know what to do first. They're trying. Okay. This isn't from lack of trying. They're trying. They just really don't have proper guidance on, again, where to start. These women are typically overwhelmed. They've watched hundreds of videos. Okay. They've read hundreds of comments and reviews on products. They've bought hundreds of dollars worth of products, and somehow they end up more confused than when they started. Okay. This is probably one of the most important questions that women ask to me. This is the most important, because it forces you to slow down before doing the wrong thing yet again. I love it when people ask this question, because it means that you are willing to slow down. Okay. You tend to get stuck when you start with products, or when you start with trends, or when you start with what worked for somebody else. When you start at the end instead of starting from the beginning. Okay. You get stuck here. You get in the product chasing cycle. Okay. You spend years trying to fix the wrong problem, and then you end up right back where you started with, what should I do first? Okay. So your issue can be scalp inflammation. Buying another moisturizer won't fix that. If your issue is breakage, buying growth products and growth oils will not fix that. If your issue is a habit that you're doing that's creating the damage, no product will completely overcome that. The first step depends on what's actually happening. So we start with clarity. All right. We need to understand your scalp, understand your profile. I need to understand your habits. What do you do every day? What problem are you actually trying to solve? What is your goal? Okay. So several resources I have here. I think you would be beneficial, or it would be most beneficial for you to start with the Plan My Hair Care workshop. Okay. That should be linked in this video. Consultation services are also available on the website. And then, of course, hair rehab. Okay. When you have clarity, the next step is always easy. So if you're unsure of where to start, drop a number 6 in the comments. If you want to, you can share a little bit about what you've already tried, and then I'll do my best to point you in the right direction. Okay. Number 7. All right. We're doing the top 10 questions women ask the most about their hair loss or hair health. Okay. We're on number 7. Number 7 is, why did what used to work stop working? I used to wash my hair once a month. I used to be able to wear braids all the time. I never had these problems before. Many times our bad habits or our poor habits or our lack of consistency from years and years and years and years and years catch up with us. And it usually happens once we cross the threshold of 40 and up. Okay. Because that's when our body really starts to show change. All right. Menopause, again, hormonal shifts, medications, stress, lifestyle changes, aging. Okay. Your hair is not betraying you. It's just responding to a different version of your body. My solution, your solution would be update your routine. The thing you were doing when you was 25, probably can't do that now. Don't stay loyal to methods and products that no longer fit you. You don't have to stay loyal to products and methods that no longer fit you. This is the opposite end of the problem. One of the issues that I see with women is that they switch products faster than one product can work. They're switching to another. The other issue, the other side of that coin I see, is women keep using the same routine that they've used for years and years and years and years and years. Okay. And it isn't working anymore. And they don't want to change. Okay. They just want to keep leaning into the fact that this has always worked. This has always worked. And now it's not working. Well, if you've been still not seeing the results and it's been, 2 or 3 years, then it's time to switch. Okay. Recognize that your body changed. Okay. So the resources that I have available would be my content on YouTube, any of my playlists about habits. Okay. I would definitely look at those. Hair rehab, of course, would be a great place to start. Okay. Now, I do have a few products that could be beneficial depending on what is not working anymore. I do have some products, but again, that would be something that you could let me know specifically in the comments. This is number 7. You drop a number 7 in the comments, and we'll talk about or look at what might actually best work for your situation. Okay. Number 8 of the top 10 questions women ask about their hair loss and hair health is my problem coming from my body? Okay. This is where things get interesting, because we deal with things again as we get older: hormones, hysterectomies, GLP-1, extreme weight loss, extreme weight gain, menopause, stress, medications, nutrition. So many women may not fully realize that this is an issue, but it is. Short answer, sometimes yes, the hair problem is coming from the body, because your hair does not exist in isolation. Okay, your hair is a part of your body. I just list listed the possible contributors of hormone and all those things. Some of the solutions, the main solution in all of these is stop just looking at the hair. Okay, stop only looking at the hair. And all of these questions, we can always go deeper. Okay, because sometimes the answer isn't sitting on the shelf in a beauty supply store. It isn't sitting on the shelf in your bathroom or in your cabinet or wherever you keep your product graveyard, all the products that you purchased and you're not seeing results. Sometimes the answer is inside of you. It's in your body. It's in your habits. It's in your nutrition. Sometimes it's even in your mindset. Okay. So again, a resource that I provide, Hair Rehab, would be great. Any of my playlists on nutrition, natural ingredients, stress, and habits will be phenomenal. Okay. If number 8 is your issue. All right. Drop a number 8 in the comments if you want to know more information about if your hair problem or your hair loss is coming from your body. Okay. Number 9, we're wrapping it up, y'all. Wrapping it up. Number 9 of the top 10 questions women ask me or women have asked in the last few months about hair loss is, am I doing something that's making it worse? Now, 8 and 9 go together. Typically, this one is more about habits. Okay. So examples that I see that can make hair loss worse: tight braids, tight hairstyles, wigs, scalp oils. Sometimes them scalp oils that we swear by be the very thing that's giving our hair problems. Rosemary, and I say rosemary, I'm also going to say peppermint oil. I'm also going to say tea tree oil, because many times y'all are putting those oils directly on your scalp without diluting them. This can be a problem for you. Okay. Sometimes you don't even need those essential oils. Aloe vera, okay, would be a great alternative to all these oils and essential oils. Okay. So the underlying question is, am I accidentally hurting my hair? Because many people are not trying to sabotage, I said this earlier, are not purposely trying to sabotage their own hair. Okay. But again, the excessive tension, over manipulating your hair, putting your hands in your hair all the time, over styling your hair, using harsh ingredients, ignoring symptoms. We do this a lot because remember, the hair and the scalp whispers before it screams. You're ignoring symptoms. You're scratching. You're overusing oils. DIY overload. Y'all be DIYing your hair to death and then routine hopping. You can have the best intentions with your hair, the best intentions, but they can still create damage. Okay. So instead of asking, what else should I add? What should I stop doing? I would challenge you, instead of adding something, I would say, let's stop a few things. Okay. So if you believe that you are doing something to affect your routine or your hair health or your hair loss or whatever, drop number 9 in the comments. Okay. I'll do my best to point you towards videos, resources, courses, and tools that will help you take the next step. Okay. Woo! Okay, now we're on number 10, the last one. We're doing the top 10 questions that I have received from women about hair loss. Okay. This is the last one. This probably could have been the first one for many of you, if we're being honest. Why am I spending so much money and still not seeing results? Okay. Why am I spending so much money and still not seeing results? This is the emotional question beneath almost everything. This is a very emotional question because not only is it heartbreaking to use a product and it's not working, but it's heartbreaking to part with your coins yet again on something that didn't work. Okay. We see this constantly. You're tired. You feel like nothing works. You've tried everything. You're buying product after product after product. You are not seeing results. This is rarely about money. Okay. I know I said the money can be tied to the heartbreak. The heartbreak is tied to the money, but it's also about disappointment. Okay. It's also about disappointment, because what we're really saying is I'm trying, I'm hopeful, I'm doing my best, and I still feel stuck. So most women are buying solutions before understanding the problem. Stop buying solutions before identifying and understanding your problem. Okay. I love a good product. I used to make being a product junkie sound like a bad thing. It's not. The issue is buying products because you don't know what you need. Okay. Products have a job. Supplements have a job, but none of them can replace your own understanding. If you don't understand what your hair needs, then you don't know what you're solving. Every purchase feels like another guess. Okay. This is the entire reason that my system Hair Rehab exists. Okay. It guides you step by step to understanding your hair by understanding your body. That is the most important thing before you buy another product. Okay. The Plan My Hair Care workshop, we help you build your own personal hair care routine that works for you. Hair care plan, hair care routine, whatever you want to call it, that works specifically for you. Okay. All right. So the goal here for why am I spending so much money and still not seeing results? The goal is don't buy no more products. Okay. Don't buy any more products. We want to stop buying products because you have probably already got something that will work. You just need to understand what it is that you need. Okay. So if you are having issues with buying product, you have bought product after product after product, drop number 10 in the comments. Okay. Tell me a little bit about what you've already purchased, and I will do my best to point you towards resources, courses, and tools to help you not only take the next step, but take the appropriate step. Okay. All right. So we are wrapping it up. If you are still with me, be sure to hit the like button. Okay. If you are not subscribed, I would love to have you here. I try to go live once or twice a week. I usually post videos every Saturday. And so, yeah, I think many times when I get questions and comments like these, the biggest question is, how do I grow my hair? Right? Everybody wants to know, how do I grow my hair? But I'm saying you need to know what your hair needs first, because hair growth is layered. Hair growth is not just, I need to buy one product to help my hair grow. No. If it was that easy, we'd all have hair growing down our backs. You have to know what your hair needs. Okay? Knowing what your hair needs sits above products. It sits above your scalp questions and your thinning questions and all of that. You have to know what you need. Okay? And that's exactly why I do this work, to help women figure out what's going on before spending more money. It doesn't make sense. I'm doing you a disservice if all I do is promote my products and tell you to buy the balm, to buy the hydrating mist, to buy the scalp oil. If that's all I'm doing you a disservice, because I don't care about you or your money. All I care about is making a profit. I care more about educating you so that whatever you choose to buy, you know what you need. And I stand 10 toes down on that. All right. It's not going to be a lot of hair educators out here that's educating you and not also trying to sell to you. Okay. So drop your number in the comment. I've given you my top 10 questions that I know women are asking. You fit somewhere in one of those questions. If you have just joined the video, I will put timestamps for each question, so you can go in, hear my explanation, hear my resources, hear my solution, and all of the things, and see if you identify with any of those questions. Okay. And then you put that number that you identify most with in the comments. Tell me a little bit about what's going on. I will not be able to personally troubleshoot every situation. I cannot give you a consultation in the comments, but I will do my best to point you toward my videos, resources, courses, and tools that can help you take the next step. Okay. So before we get out of here, are there any questions? My questions stop rolling on my phone. Kalia, are you still on? I guess she's not. She said hi a few minutes ago, but I don't know where she went. Okay. So again, if you are still here, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe. If you have not, hype the video, like the video. Let me know what you feel about this different setup. Again, I'm usually at my desk on my digital camera. Today, I'm filming live from my phone. I have not done this in a while. It's actually more comfortable. I'm sitting in my big chair. I don't know if you can see it. I'm sitting in my big chair and got my candles lit in the background. It's actually very comfortable sitting like this than sitting in that chair that's low to the ground and not very comfortable. Not very comfortable. Okay, so let me see if I didn't know if you were still on because my comments had stopped. But I guess they went back. I'm still on. Mm-mm. No. Yeah. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and get off of here. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the comments. You can leave them in the comment section, and I will go back through after this video or the next few days and answer those and provide information. Okay. And remember, as always, understanding your hair is not a luxury, it's your power. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.